What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Assassin, bringing you a brand new Conquest video for the week. Obviously the daily upload or the weekly uploads, as always. We don't miss them, no matter the situation we're in. We always get them. So yeah, nothing too crazy this week. Um, yeah. I mean, maybe some like crazy, like just besides that one thing with FaZe. Um, yeah, there really wasn't much happen. So we're gonna start off with OpTic wins ESWC. So I think this happened maybe like we're closing in maybe 2 weeks after this coming Sunday. So yeah, now this podcast is being recorded on August 5th, 2025. So yeah, OpTic wins ESWC. OpTic ends up winning the two biggest tournaments to finish off the Black Ops 6 season. After a rough start to the year for them, especially the 0-18 period when they couldn't win a single map. OpTic were able to turn it around and win probably the two biggest things you can win in COD this year, winning champs and a month later winning ESWC. So yeah, OpTic ended up coming out with a dub. Very convincing tournament. Besides the reverse sweep against Heretics, everything they dominated pretty much everybody. So yeah, they did. They it wasn't. I don't know if people weren't trying or this and that. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, wasn't close besides the Miami match, which they had to reverse sweep to even get to the grand final. So, um, but once they got to the grand finals, they 4-0 surged, and yeah, it was pretty easy from there. So yeah, while we stay on the COD side, um, if you don't know, Major Maniac, pro for a long time in the scene. I think a day or two ago announced his retirement. When I'm recording this, which is on the 5th of August, I think he retired maybe a day or two ago. So, but from this point, he probably would have been retired maybe close to closing in onto a week. So, yeah, people known. I mean, he's been around for a good bit too. Um, Players have been trying their best to get back into the league, and he was one of them. Has been dabbling back and forth, in the last couple of years, in the league, trying to get back. So, yeah, another pro player, well-known pro player to retire this year. Added onto the list. I was gonna talk about roster mania for COD, but I think starting maybe hopefully next podcast, I'll give you an update, maybe a big list of updates, because more and more people are being released or announcing unrestricted free agency or restricted free agency. Yeah, it's a lot. It's pretty crazy this year. I think everyone's making a team change besides OpTic. So 11 out of the 12 teams in the league are making changes. So, which is pretty fucking crazy to think. Um, so yeah, we'll see. I'm definitely gonna have a big list of it. Come next week. So we have something we could talk about and maybe match up maybe some crazy rosters that are potentially gonna line up for the next up and coming season. So yeah, but yeah, I think that's it for the COD side. And what we're gonna talk about, Simple leaves Navi after 9 years, joining BC Games Esports. Yeah, this is it's pretty shocker. Simple is like a really big known name for such a long time. And he's been on Navi for a good bit, 9 years. So there's certain players on certain teams that you wouldn't, that just go together and you wouldn't expect them to leave. This is one of them. I mean, Simple has been a part of Navi for a long time. I mean, obviously he was loaned off to FaZe for a bit, um, this year. So, um, but now I think I'm pretty sure he joined them so he could fully compete full time and not being loaned off. So yeah, this one's pretty crazy because I mean, Simple and Navi have literally is like two things that go together, or the two things that go together. They just make sense, and they just makes sense. I mean, it's like T1 with T1 figure with T1, Scump with OpTic. There's another couple players out there that, but like those are like some examples. Like these players were literally grown, built, or grew and built with the brand. So this is literally what that feels like. I mean, we'll see. I mean, we'll be seeing some insane um stuff come out. Oh, excuse me, BC Games Esports. Sorry, but yeah, crazy. While we're in that type of realm, LCS, um, not in the same realm, but LCS legend Jensen retires from league. I can't really talk much about this player because I didn't watch him at all throughout the start of when I started watching league. But like I said, lots of big name players are retiring. Um, this year, which is pretty crazy. Oh, excuse me, sorry, I'm very sleepy for some reason right now. But yeah, yeah, another player retires, adding on to the big list of players that have retired in this esports the last couple of months, especially this year. But yeah, I hope he enjoys retirement. Well earned. So yeah, moving on to Halo Infinite, um, has released, or well, if you don't know, last weekend or August 1st to the 3rd was Salt Lake, hosted by Space Station. Obviously, this is their event for this season. Um, with this event concluding, we would only have two more uh, tournaments for Halo and the last year of Halo Infinite. So yeah, this tournament didn't disappoint. But I'm gonna talk about the update, and then we'll talk about um, the tournament a little bit, which I was able to watch a good amount, not too much, but just enough to be able to talk about. But yeah, it kind of crazy to see that Halo are dropping this update, especially after announcing the end of the HCS. So obviously, this doesn't mean Halo will stop updating the game and adding more on. It's just the competitive side of this game will be ending. But Halo Infinite, it's massive updates. We're getting new weapons, obviously a battle pass, team skins, and more. From what I remember and what Mokhtar was telling me, I'm gonna see exactly because he texted it to me. It says the key thing that Mokhtar told me that that he had told me was that camo has been increased to 45 seconds. I think me and Mokhtar did a test. I think it only was for 25, 30 seconds. I don't remember exactly, but it's been upped to 45 seconds. So this will probably making camo more crucial and very important to get, especially with the amount of time. Especially the 45 seconds, how much a play could change the outcome of a game quickly. So yeah, we're gonna get a new weapon. Um, if I'm not mistaken, we're getting the battle. It's like an old school gun. I forgot the name of it. Let's see. I don't exactly remember. Uh, where is it? I don't remember exactly, but it's it's like the plasma caster, not the caster, but it's like the carbine, the carbine. It's like the purple. It's I don't remember how to explain it. But obviously it's like an old school gun and this and that, and then it's also skins can be applied to almost every gun in the game now. So if y'all don't remember the start of 8 Infinite, only certain skins were limited to certain items. Now, with over the last couple updates, they've been slowly and slowly just been any skin could be placed onto any Spartan weapon, anything. It doesn't matter. Um, so it just gives you more free range and more customization on your Spartans and stuff like that. So yeah. Um, Um, so yeah, nothing, no, nah, nah, that's some pretty big news. I mean, especially after the the big announcement we made a couple weeks ago with the HCS. So yeah. But when it talks about HCS, we're gonna talk about the major. I mean, Salt Lake. Um, so it was. I think this event was probably like the most clear cut. People played how they should have played. They got to um, everything. I think the top 4 teams, which we kind of expected to be all year, was OpTic, Shopify, FaZe, and Space Station. So those guys made it to the championship Sunday. I think we started off with FaZe versus Space Station in the losers semi, if I'm not, or losers five. Loser semis. I think FaZe won 3-1 or 3-2. I don't remember exactly the score, but I know FaZe won, and they ended up being in Space Station, and then obviously we'll move over to the winners final. OpTic played Shopify, the 1 and 2 team, throughout the whole year. And yeah, Shopify came in and dominated the OpTic match 3-0. I mean, from what it seemed and look how it looked, I mean, this is Shopify looked more complete than anybody this tournament. OpTic really struggled with Slayer this weekend, which was literally their Achilles heel this weekend. Um, yeah, so OpTic ended up not doing the three-peat. Bound and Legend don't end up getting the six in a row, or the sixth tournament in the row. They end up missing out on some crazy history. But yeah, they ended up getting to the losers final. Ended up playing FaZe. I think they beat FaZe 3-0 or 3-1. I can't recall because I was watching it, but I wasn't like was looking at it. I was like hearing it while I was doing other stuff at the time. Then obviously we had the rematch. Probably like the best Halo you're gonna watch again. I mean they played in the finals, the last event, and they ended up OpTic ended up winning pretty pretty convincingly. The last time they met up in the final, but this time it was back and forth, neck and neck. I mean, it ended up going to game 7, and but since Shopify came from the winner's side, they ended up winning the series in game 7, making OpTic now being able to reset the bracket or reset the finals. So Shopify ended up winning their first major Halo event this year. And it was kind of long overdue, especially of how they started the season. So congrats to them on winning their first title for Shopify. Congrats to Shopify as well for winning your first Halo tournament. So let's just hope. Let's see if they will continue getting that momentum and finally in a roll. See if they can finish out the year with the remainder of the year with some more wins, and hopefully, you don't know, maybe some other teams will cause upsets this remaining year as well as we were approaching the last bit of the HCS. So yeah, good stuff. Yeah, so congrats to Shopify on winning your first Halo event. Now we're gonna talk about the last topic on the esports side, with FaZe Banks resigning from FaZe Clan, um, as FaZe Clan CEO amid the crypto scam allegations involving Ross. So I don't know much about it, but I do know that FaZe Banks, obviously, this crypto stuff has been going on around. They convince a lot of people to buy a lot of shares of this and coins and this and that, because they are their biggest, the biggest celebrities or like the biggest creators are buying in and thinking they're gonna make money. They're gonna also make money, knowing that this could either be a big fail or just a big money grab. And they ended up getting a buying FaZe Banks in the ass. And yeah, I mean, because of it, he decided to step down. He's gonna disappear. Um, it's just a whole thing around it, but it's just pretty big because FaZe Banks has been the CEO of FaZe for a long time. Um, so yeah, pretty crazy. I mean, I don't. It's pretty crazy news. I mean, especially from like all the stuff that was going on and this and that. Uh, like the text, the leaks, the messages, everything. Oh man, it's just crazy. I mean, I really do hope y'all look into it and go more into depth with it. Um, but yeah, I mean that is pretty crazy news. I mean, I was shocked to know. Um, I was really shocked when I found out about this, and it kind of like threw me off because it's just you're not expecting anything like that. Uh, Especially after FaZe going through it a couple years ago with the current like last group of FaZe members that they originally had. So yeah, um, sucks, man. But you pay the price. You want to escape from everybody and this and that. So can't really blame you. But yeah, um, yeah, that's all the news for esports. So we're just gonna move on to general news. Just not that many topics. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the it's two one big thing that happened last weekend. But I'm gonna talk about the Zootopia 2 trailer. Me personally, I have not seen it, so I will definitely be taking a look at it after I finish recording this podcast. So I can't really give my feedback, but obviously we were most likely getting a second one from how good the first one was. Um, but I haven't seen the trailer, so I can't really give my input on what it's about. But hey, not surprised we're getting a second one. So if you haven't watched the trailer, go ahead and watch it. I will be watching it after I finish recording this. Um, and then next week I'll give my input about it. Um, but some big and crazy news. Um, there was an earthquake. Like to not exaggerate, but it was a pretty crazy one. An 8.2 magnitude earthquake rocks Russian Pacific coast, triggers tsunami warning across Japan and the United States. Um, that is fucking insane. So, um, I think I think I was watching a streamer who's from California, and he was talking about how he was getting alerts talking about a tsunami trigger, and stuff like that. He was getting Amber Alerts for a tsunami in California, which is pretty fucking crazy. Which means this earthquake thing that happened off the Russian Pacific coast was pretty fucking crazy to cause a tsunami. Um, yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I thought it was fake, but the more and more I read into it and stuff like that, it was wild. So, luckily nothing crazy happened. Everyone's good and safe. This is probably like maybe a week after, or a couple days after, from when I'm recording this. Well, from I think it's last Thursday or last Wednesday, or yes, was when it happened. So, other than that, everything went good. Everyone, nothing crazy happened. But it's still pretty crazy how that big of an earthquake caused a tornado, a tsunami warning across Japan and the United States. So, um, yeah, pretty fucking crazy shit's going on in the world this year. Thinking freaking tsunami across the U.S. So, but yeah, well, that's all I got for this week. Thank you guys for watching as always. Appreciate the love and support. Apologies for the lack of videos recently. Kind of recovering from my sickness. That's why I sound and look like I'm like really tired and stuff. Still recovering from my sickness. I've been pretty much bed rested until recently, till today. Um, so it's good. I'm feeling a lot better. Um, yeah, and you're probably wondering where Mokhtar is. Well, Mokhtar is currently out of state doing job interviews, for work or to job interviews outside of this out of side. So he's probably gonna be gone for a bit. So I'll be taking over. And yeah. Um yeah, I got nothing besides like comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you know when we upload. Make sure you comment down below what you liked, what you didn't like, what was the craziest thing from this week's topics that you thought was crazy, or what I missed. Comment down below. We'll make sure to bring it up next week. Follow our socials in the description down below. Our streams, our socials, everything are down there. So yeah. Hopefully we can get back on track with videos again. There, you know, stuff happens. I'm trying to get back on track. But with that being said, I don't know if I mentioned, this was episode 84. Closing in the 100 mark. We're only 16 away, so we're starting to think about stuff to do for the 100. So be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be a special one. But yeah, got nothing much to say besides thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next week. As always, peace.